Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today on the 12th of August 2013. Typhoon Labuyo continuing to traverse across the northern Philippines today. It made landfall right around 0300 Philippine Standard Time. At landfall, packing winds up to about 245 kilometers per hour, pressure down to 935 HPA. It has brought some damage across northern portions of the Philippines here, and what we have seen is some rain reports right at the landfall site, up to about 175 millimeters in just 1 hour. So the storm is still packing quite a punch and is dropping a tremendous amount of rainfall. Some localized flooding reports out across much of the portions of Manila here as well. The good news, at least at this point, no reports of any deaths coming out of here. We still have fishermen missing down towards Bicol Island, and the other thing is that here in northeastern Luzon, around Aurora, Isabela, Casiguran, where this storm made landfall here into the right front quadrant, you were seeing winds here through the overnight hours up to about 260 to 270 kilometers per hour, at least gusting up to. So a very dangerous storm system, and the power is out here. Communications is cut off. The only reports I've been seeing right near the coast is people getting information via two-way radio. So a very dangerous situation, and we always see this with landfalling storm systems, especially here in the Philippines. In these isolated communities, we're not going to really get news out of there probably until later on today into tonight, maybe not even until Tuesday, until we get the full picture, the full scope, and the first TV crews can get in there and show us what's going on. The other thing I can tell you is that at least up to 1,000 people were evacuated from the immediate coastal area. This storm really ramped up prior to landfall, was up to a Category 4 status on the Saffron-Simpson scale, so a very major and violent typhoon you can see here on the eye prior to landfall. So good news is that we have seen people evacuate. Up to about 10,000 people are stranded across much of the northern portions of the Philippines, talking about from airports, the bus depots, the ferries not running, which is also good news. I haven't seen any reports of any ferries being overturned or capsized, which is often the case when we have landfalling typhoons here in the Philippines. So that is also the good news. So no reports of any deaths at this time, but it's still early, and we still have yet to restore communication to many of these coastal cities there in northeastern Luzon. The other main topic out here is classes were suspended across much of northern Luzon, including there in the Manila area. That is also the headline at this time, so that's the good news, that the headlines are classes are suspended, nothing worse. But where is the storm system going next? Well, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency, it is going to be re-emerging here through the afternoon hours out there into the South China Sea. Winds at 75, gusting up to 105 knots. They expect it to really start to ramp back up in intensity here, though, up to about 90 to 100 and 30 knots before it starts to move out there towards southeastern China, west of Hong Kong, northeast of Hainan. It is moving a little bit farther towards the west than what the track showed here about 24 hours. This is a response to, well, many of the models also pulling off there a little bit farther towards the west. Now, this area does not need any more rainfall. It just was hit by Tropical Storm Jebi and Tropical Storm Manghut. Granted, they were both much weaker than what this storm system is forecasted to be, but still very waterlogged there into southern portions of Guangdong and Guangxi province. One model also still pulling off there towards the northeast, pulling it closer to Hong Kong. It just depends on the amplitude of an upper level ridge which is located over central China at this time. Taking a look at the overall background flow, and if you've watched my updates for any period of time, you know that I like to use this tool. Just follow the overall background flow and you get a general idea where the storm system's going to be going, especially along the northern periphery. You basically follow those lines. Well, what we can see here is that a high pressure ridge is lifting farther and farther northeast. About 2 days ago, this was centered over Taiwan. It's moving over towards Japan. Why? Temperatures out over Japan are just absolutely scorching this past weekend, up to about 40 to 42 degrees. I even saw afternoon thunderstorms blow up due to the instability in the weather around Tokyo. Tornado level 2 was issued, and one storm just drop some hail and some dangerous weather. So that's lifting farther towards the north. In response, really, this storm system, I do think it's going to inch closer to Hong Kong, really even between the middle of these two areas, of one of these lines moving off there towards the northeast, the other one moving down there towards the northwest, and the models are responding to that kind of, so I would put it still right in the middle here. Hong Kong, I think that there is going to be typhoon strength wind. But the worst of the weather, it really is going to be farther out here towards the west. GFS has been just so accurate that I want to show you it, and really I do tend to believe this is where it's going to be going. Towards the west of Hong Kong, you're still seeing these tropical storm strength winds gusting up to typhoon strength, even sustained possibly at times here on Wednesday afternoon, and then making landfall. These areas here in the right front quadrant, though, this is where you possibly could see a storm surge up to about 5 to 6 meters high. When we saw the storm make landfall in the Philippines, we were seeing waves up to about 12 to 13 meters high. I don't expect it that much here, but the thing is, you still have a very large fetch area pushing on shore. Coastal areas, especially low-lying here, could see that very serious storm surge. So we want to continue to keep an eye on it. This is still 2 more days out, but anybody out here, you want to get prepared for this. Even over towards Hong Kong, Guangzhou, Macau, I do think that even though the storm system looks like it's going to be tracking here towards the west, and according to the Hong Kong Observatory, they also expect that landfall farther off there towards the west, but northeast of Hainan. So you're still just right on the edge of the cone of air of that destructive wind. So it still could pull off there into that direction. Another thing, Hong Kong and much of southeastern China under heat warnings at this time, because as this storm pulls off from the south there, coming out of the tropics, it's going to thrust some warmer air up there towards the north, and well, things are still going to be getting hot out here, and plus sea surface temperatures really actually above average across portions of the South China Sea, so there's fuel for this storm system to re-intensify. And at this time, I know Hong Kong is about to issue a standby signal force 1, just getting prepared for the storm system when it comes into your direction. But that is all for right now, everybody. As far as the conditions here in the Philippines, still these outer rain bands are going to continue to wrap around. So Manila, throughout the day today, you're going to be seeing scattered showers. The instability with this, especially down there towards the south through the afternoon hours, also going to enhance up the monsoonal flow. So even though you are removed from the center of circulation, you still could be seeing some showers down there towards Visayas, northern portions of Mindanao. You already see that enhancement of the monsoon wrapping around the storm system, so flooding even farther down here towards the south can still be expected. As far as the storm system, though, like I said, it is going to be improving conditions off here towards the north, and hopefully we can start to get some more news out of northeastern Luzon. Fingers crossed, the news still remains good, but at this time, still unsure of it. So, stay safe out there, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them down in the comment box below. And as always, thanks for watching.